It was finally vacation time after working in the Midwest for over a month and a half. I had a day free to explore Central Florida's SunRail Corridor, and I picked probably one of the hottest days to do it. No, really, temperatures were topping over 100 degrees. My friend Christian Johnston was my expert and tour guide out here as he took me to some good places around the area. We didn't spend all day outside due to the heat and time scheduling on my part, but we got what we could. We start out at Stanton, just outside of CSX's Taft Yard, where we had Amtrak's Silver Star Train 91 barreling down on us. They were running just over 2 hours late today.
91.5 there on that stop. Clear through top to Stanton on 1. Come on, need you, move.
CFRC Equipment Defect Detector. Milepost 801.0. Track 1. No defects. No defects. Total axle 3/6. End of transmission.
We then heard something on the radio that caught us by surprise.
Yes, sir. It's in location at departure 1 northeast coming out Middle Kissimmee as we speak. Say 1 coming out of Middle Kissimmee. He going southbound or north? He's going north on 2. Get him by, he'll get your signal. All right. After 1 gets by, then we can proceed southbound on signal indications. That is correct. Thank you. Proceed, Metro.
There was a CSX train ready to depart Taft after waiting for a SunRail train to clear. CSX usually never runs a mainline train in daylight out here on the corridor, so this was a rare occurrence. We passed up that SunRail train and went straight for Kissimmee. We found some shade in the parking deck right outside of the SunRail station. Within minutes after setting up, SunRail train P319 is seen arriving in front of the old Kissimmee depot. We moved to ground level, finding some shade with it still being bloody hot outside. There were 2 approach signals at the distant to South Kissimmee, with one eventually upgrading to a clear signal for the CSX train. Kissimmee has 2 stations, one for SunRail and one for Amtrak, both serving the Silver Star and the Silver Meteor. The depot dates back to 1910 during the early Atlantic coastline days. Being that this portion of track is owned by the Florida Department of Transportation, CSX runs with trackage rights. Train EO40, or ZO40 in this case, makes their move southbound heading towards the S-Line via the Vita Sub in Lakeland to turn northbound as they head for Baldwin and points north.
Eastbound to Sanders, you got a Sullivan on this CSX 31 and 81. Coming southbound on that number 2 like 2 track light permission to your limit there. 4495. Okay, that's all right. I was looking wrong. Here we go. 4495 is voided out for the CO98. Team Scott 411. Correct, 1311 TGW. 1311 TGW, thank you so much. Yes, sir, thank you. Yeah, I may have said 5289, but we're correct on the 4495. I appreciate it. All right, it's all good. Thank you, sir. Appreciate the help. Anytime. Thanks, sir.
Amtrak's Silver Meteor Train 98 was at Kissimmee Station fixing to depart, so we moved over to CP North Kissimmee. They had a limited clear signal lit for them, while their counterpart, Train 97, pulls up and waits for them to clear the single track. It wasn't long until Amtrak 98 came by, surprising us with the Phase III Heritage Unit 822 trailing behind the lead motor. Also, not to mention, a pretty cool crew. With a restricting signal lined behind Amtrak 98, there was one more train Amtrak 97 had to wait on, and that was SunRail train P320 heading north to DeBary. With both of those trains now out of the way, Amtrak 97 finally gets a signal to head for Kissimmee Station before turning due south to Miami. Now move through downtown Orlando. Of course, being summer vacationers are coming into town, traffic was a nightmare. We passed up SunRail train P321 heading south, but there's more to catch. Another spot I wanted to check out was DeBary, on the very north side of the SunRail Corridor. We cross over Lake Monroe hearing Amtrak 98 ready to depart Orlando Station. We also caught up with SunRail P320, but couldn't get them in time as they arrived at DeBary Station. This marks the north end of the SunRail route. Knowing that Amtrak 98 was coming, we moved a little bit to the south at Barwick Road. The crew saw us again and gave us a double shave and a haircut salute. Minutes later, SunRail P320 moves southbound with no passengers as they head to put their train away at their yard limits in Sanford. A few more minutes later, SunRail P325 heads south for Poinciana Station. Next on the list of things to check out was the Lake Monroe drawbridge. The old Atlantic coastline emblem still bleeds out, marking its era in time. The public path we're standing on, however, marks the original swing bridge back in the 1930s, which is now used as a fishing pier. The replacement bridge that the railroad uses today has been in service since 1994 and stays closed unless if needed by other boaters. We only got one train here, and that was SunRail train P327 northbound. Christian showed me where the old north end of Sanford was back when this line was CSX owned. This spot went to single track before the highway bridge all the way through DeBary before SunRail took over the corridor, making it double track. We also found CSX's Rand Yard on the other side of the SunRail facility. We came across yard power for a CSX train that would run later on, being AC-44CW's 554 and 357, still in the YN2 paint scheme. Another spot I wanted to see for myself was the Amtrak Auto Train Station. Train P052 had everything coupled up, ready to go, and was just fixing to depart, making their northbound trip to Lorton, Virginia. So we moved to just before Lake Monroe at the old North End Sanford. SunRail train P322 was heading north just as we were arriving. We get set up as Amtrak P052 was next, leaving Sanford right on schedule. Rounding out the day, we caught the Florida Central Eustis job working outside of Maitland, and they were maxed out in size this afternoon. We couldn't even see the head-end power. Grade crossings were blocked as they were working, which caused traffic in the area to be jammed all around, so we passed them up. But Christian took me to one more spot to get some photo ops. The Florida Central Silver Star job sits tied down with engine 7032, an old GP9U. The job was just about to come on duty, but unfortunately, we didn't have enough time to watch them work, so we just decided to go ahead and call it a day. Special thanks to Christian Johnston for taking me around Central Florida and showing me some awesome spots around the area. Maybe next time I'm down here, we'll get lucky with the Florida Central. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed watching, and to anyone new, please subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on another new upload. Until next time, I leave you with this from Orlando on Florida's deadliest interstate, I-4.